Hi, welcome back, YouTube. Celestial Kingdom MidReign 60. This session is how to your park website with Lord Torq. This is designed for those who are using the amtgardck.org website interface in order to create and maintain their parks website. So if you're a member of the CK and are looking to use that platform, this is your how-to. If you're not a member of CK and are interested in finding out more information about joining us, feel free to leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So without further ado, this is Lord Torq.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. So, as most of you know, we recently revamped the Amtgard CK webpage. Part of the reason for revamping it is to make it a little easier for parts to actually create subpages, etc. We've had several people step up and volunteer to be those kind of admins, but I wanted to have this session so I can kind of show the process to everybody and kind of quell some concerns because you don't have to know how to code. It's very what you see is what you get, drag and drop kind of option. So let me share my screen and just kind of walk through some. I don't have like a full agenda or a plan here. So if you have questions, let me know, unmute, throw them out my way. Let's see. I think it is that screen. Let me know if that works.
Yeah, I'm able to see it.
Okay, so this is the main web page. If you've signed up or have an account, you'll want to go ahead and log in because that's how you actually get access to all the administrative functions. This takes you to the back end of the actual application. So what you'll do is go click the little hamburger icon in the top left, go back to the website, and click go to websites. This takes you back into where you're editing the front end, which is our website. The application itself has a lot of features on the back end, such as sales and marketing and accounting and everything else. So it is a full enterprise resource program to kind of give us the ability to scale in the future. That's a entirely different conversation. So once you're logged in as an admin, you're going to have this new blue bar up at the top, and this will give you access to the various pages that we've created underneath, including for future use like Spring War. So if we'll take a look at just Nocturnus, it'll take you to the Nocturnus page, which I'm still logged into, and you can see I created most of these pages very. Uh, is the screen still working? Do people see the Nocturnus screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure. Thanks. So I created the subpart pages with bare minimum, basically, just to get them created with the hopes that people would come in and start adding their own stuff. So really just, the name of the park, a very high level what it is in a photo. You can see I didn't even remove this little blurb about add a caption. So, and then through in the details, a quick little summary of where we meet. So first thing you'll want to do is go to edit at the top right. Edit gives you the ability to make all kinds of changes. And if you hate the changes and decide that you don't want them, you can just click discard and it goes right back to where you were. But if you notice, there's zero coding here. This is all going to be drag and drop. So the first thing we can do is pick on the left, you have these blocks. Everything is a block. This is a big block. I can delete the whole block right now and it's gone. Obviously, I don't want to do that yet, so I'll discard and we'll go back into edit so we start back from our baseline. Let's say I want to add photos of the leadership of the park. I've got a features option I can do, which you can see it just drop this block here. I could try columns if I would rather have columns. Oh, I like columns better. So let me get rid of the feature block. Then you can start coming in here and double clicking on pictures and choosing photos of people. Like I'll just pick Scorpion because it's a good one that I have, right? Even though Scorpion's not part of Nocturnus, this would be a good example. Scorpion. You know, Seneschal of Nocturnus. You can literally create whatever you want with zero coding on the fly. I obviously don't want to keep this, so let's actually delete that block. One of the neat things on the main page is an image gallery. I like image galleries because you can kind of set them to scroll automatically. So let's choose several different photos that have already been uploaded. I don't want to upload any of those, so let's add those images to the image block. You'll see it's got the photos here, and it will scroll automatically. But what if I didn't want it to scroll, or I wanted it to scroll faster, or wanted a grid of photos? That's where you go into the options for each block. If you just click on the block, you'll have all this on the left. You can remove all the images. You can add additional images. Since we have it set to slideshow, we can say, you know what? Let's set it for every 2 seconds to change. Uh, we can change the background color. What if we wanted a black background? All right. Now you can see every 2 seconds it is changing the photo unless I highlight over it. So really neat if you want a lot of photos and don't want to have people clicking links to get to the photos. You kind of want to show how awesome your park is, right? Which I don't. So I'm going to get rid of that block. Now, this whole thing is open to your creativity. And to do that, or to show that, I want to show what Field of Nightmares has done because their stuff is really looking cool. So if we open up Field of Nightmares, check this out. They've obviously got their park logo, which is real easy to do, a little bit of details about their park. But my favorite part is about the players and who to contact for information. And they actually go through and show a photo of who their current sheriff is, the champion, the regent, which, by the way, thank you, Ava, for doing most of this website. I know you've been working on it, and it's amazing. I think it's great. But you're only limited to your imagination, right? You can change these colors of the background. You can keep adding more folks. Uh, if you don't want people to know anything about the park, you just leave it all blank and hope somebody else comes in, right? But again, only limited by your imagination. Another neat feature that's built into this, as most of you have probably seen, is events. We have this online MidReign set up as an event on the Kingdom page, but parks are actually able to come through and do their own events now. So let me sign back in. I'm going to go to Nocturnus page again, just so I can do a test event. And the top right, you've got new. This is where you can create new web pages, new training courses, because we do have a training back end. But what I want to show here is the new event. So we can literally do uh, our park in rain is coming up actually pretty quickly, but we'll just do in rain for September 2020. All right, registration, it's automatically gives it a $0 registration that you can go in and set for like Kingdom events if you have prices, but you can build your entire registration portfolio here to where people will see how much registration cost, whether it's online, etc. And you just click configure event registration, or you do it on the back end. But choose your days and your times, drag your same exact block concept over here so that you can start dropping photos and giving it titles and sections. So I think I've used Scorpion enough. Let's use, oh, that's a good photo. Let's say I don't want the discover more button because there is nothing more to discover. It's a sub block under here, and you can see when I highlight that block, it highlights discover more, and you just delete it, right? Say I wanted a different background color, and I want it somewhat uh, transparent, right? Any questions on this? Am I going too fast? Does it make sense? Okay, we'll keep going.
I actually do have a question.
Yes,
So,
yes.
in this registration area, you showed that you could change the colors of the blocks that you're using, but can you also change the colors of everything else that's there?
So you can, and that's actually a good point. Let me pull that up. Let's discard all these changes. I don't care to save the event, so I will delete that later. But on customize, you can customize the theme here, which apparently I don't even have a theme. So let me go to a different page. You know what? Let's install a theme. There's several different themes that we have already downloaded. We can download more if you need, but this kind of is a framework using just standard HTML, CSS built into it, so you can pick various themes. It's got generic colors and generic fonts and stuff like that. All of this is changeable though. So give me a second, let me install this theme. This installs it at the park page level, not all park or all kingdom. So, all right, it is installed. It should refresh. All right, customize the theme. So let's say I hate the whole layout. You can actually go to layout and choose boxed, which is one of my favorite things to do, and choose an image and then upload a background. This I used on my personal page. Let's see how this looks. Anytime you upload an image, I recommend just hitting optimize. Sylvie, you just reach out to me, and if you want to have access to editing in Park, I will set you up with admin rights. Those admin rights are for the entire page though, so stick to just updating your park because you can update the entire kingdom and that's a bad thing. There's no way to differentiate that. But you can see now I've got this background image and the layout is completely frozen. Typically you'd have to know HTML to really do this. You don't have to anymore. It's very easy to drop a custom background and start like that. Let's try another one and see what it looks like because I did want to try a new one I just downloaded. See what this chain background looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. I dig it. All right. So if we go back into customize theme, here's our fonts as well. That is a ugly font. You can add Google fonts. So if you don't like the font options that are there, just go find the Google fonts and it tells you how to add it. We can literally change all the fonts just by a few clicks. Yeah. There we go. And bitter. Okay, that just changed all the fonts, but to answer your specific question, let's go to colors. Primary color, let's say that, Nocturnus is blue and black, which I'm a little colorblind, so I am going to cheat and type in the colors. That's our primary color. Our secondary color is black.
For others who are color challenged, if you're having trouble seeing this, you can probably get a list of these hex codes that you're seeing and all the saturation numbers that you see him changing with listed out words of this is blue, this is purple, this is whatever color, and you can put that in there.
All right, so that is the primary colors that have changed. Now let's want to change this background color. I'll just click on the actual block if I can find it and go to background color and say, here's my theme colors that I was just setting and say, you know what, let's set it to black. So you can see with a couple of clicks, I've completely changed the entire way that this web page looks from a very basic, bland, static page to a cool background and the of chainmail in the back and a black background. You know what? That still has an ugly background. Let's change that as well. Oh, and it didn't change.
So the other part of that question was kind of focused at the event post and registration. Would that change color as well in the same manner?
It gets tricky when you start trying to change events and stuff like that because events are tied to the back end. They're not custom pages. They are auto-generated pages tied to the back end. And I can show you what I mean when I say back end. Like, let's go into events and we'll look at the MidReign event that we have going right now. You can see we've got 65 expected, 64 people have confirmed. This is all tied in to our system so we can see who's registered, who donated any kind of money. These are the different registration donations available. You could cap certain things. This would let us start going through and say, you know what, we've got 6 cabins for rent at the Spring War site, so we could have people register their cabins, etc., right there. But since the back end is tied to events, you can't really customize a lot of the crap there. Most of your customization is going to be focused on the park pages that are non-form based, if that makes any sense. On this back end, you can see that we can literally go through and see everybody that's registered. If we wanted to, we could send out an email. I forget where it's at. There's
Torq, are you able to adjust your mic position at all? You've gotten almost inaudible.
Yep. 1 second. Is that better?
Significantly.
Sorry about that. So whenever they were talking earlier, it screamed in my ear, so I turned down the wrong one. Okay, so yeah, this is the back end again. So it also gives us the ability to message out 1 day before, 10 days before, immediately. If we had a emergency come up, we could use this to send out an email to everybody that registered for our events and say, hey, so and so is an emergency, blah 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 blah. So really starts giving us the ability to have communications come from the kingdom level to people that we know are at the events. Let's go back to the website. You can see here I've got this ad caption to enhance the meaning of this image. I don't want to do that, so go click on it and just delete the block. Oh, that didn't work. If you delete something by mistake, you can always discard.
So, Torq, I'm just getting back to my desk. I had to take care of feast for my family. I ordered dinner and then I had to take care of some personal. I've been in this chair too long, but I am noticing that Sylvie had a question that I hope that you already answered. I don't know if you saw it or not. How does one get access to editing their park page? Does she create an account and will she need admin approval?
Yeah, I did answer it. I'll answer it again.
Okay.
Basically, get with me, send me a Facebook message or email admin@amtgardck.org. Let me know that you want to be an admin, and as long as we don't have too many folks doing it, it should not be a problem. The downside is you'll be able to edit every web page. I can't limit you to just your park page. So, you know, show some restraint and don't go editing the main page or going to other people's parks and, saying how they're not as good as your park, etc. It does keep an audit log of who does what, so I don't recommend thrashing other people. If you are into HTML and coding, there is the ability to do a hard code edit. You can go into the pages and see the code on the back end. I highly don't recommend doing this, only in weird cases where it's critical that you should ever have to do this. But what else? Pages. We can also edit our menu. Let me go back to someone else's page. Specifically, let's go to Slaughter Creek, or yeah, Slaughter Creek. Where's Slaughter Creek? There we go. So Slaughter Creek, let's sign back in and go back to the web page. All right. Edit the menu. So this is editing our little menu that sits right here. Let's add a new menu item and say nights. And we don't have a URL just yet, so let's leave it blank. There we go. That's fine. All right. Now we're going to have a nights section. And let's create a sword. And you can drag that and make it a sub menu. Add another menu and serpent. All right, just to create the menu, that way you can see it. There we go. This will refresh, and now on the menu you've got knight, and you can click sword, which won't take us to anything because we haven't created the web page yet. And you've got serpent. So now let's create a new page. And let's do serpent. All right. Now it automatically brings up our blocks. Let's do, I did like this columns earlier. Let's double click this, upload an image. And I want to, let's upload this great photo of Thad that was taken. Optimize it. Sexy Thad, love it. Sir Thad is awesome. You know what? I happen to have some stuff on the side. Sir Thad, I can't pronounce it, not gonna try. And you know what?
Then Shiata?
Deniata. He is a Knight of the Sword as of February 14th, or February 2014, and Knight of Serpent. Congrats again, August 2020. So.
Dentiata. They're both hard T's.
They're both hard T's. Dentiata.
But you can see how you can make literally a list of all your knights for each park, and we could do this at the kingdom too, and just have every serpent knight on one page. Or, like I said, this thing is only limited by your creativity and your time investment. Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't put anything or put crap up there, it's going to look crappy. But if you take a few hours and really lay out how you want a nice flow and a pretty web page, and you don't have to learn the code, so it shouldn't take that long, you can literally go through here and make awesome stuff. All right, so that was serpent page. And if we go to pages and manage pages, it should show me, yep, /serpent was that website link, right? So if I customize or edit the menu, I make sure that serpent goes to serpent, save it, save the menu. Now when you go to the home page of Slaughter Creek, you can click Knights and you go to serpent, and there it is, the Serpent Knights of Slaughter Creek. Pretty cool if you ask me. What else? What else can I talk to you? I've spent 26 minutes rambling. Let's take a break. Any questions?
I am just now getting into, like, I took a quick break and now I'm back, and I'm the page admin for Wickerwood, and I missed the whole front part. I feel so bad.
Well, you'll
Manage
be able to
pages?
watch the video.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, so don't take questions from me. So anyone else have any questions on how to do this?
Don Diego. You know what? I don't have.
Is anyone following along, working on their parks website with us?
I mean, he's kind of working on my park's website right now as the demo, and I'm pretty sure it's Gundar who's got our admin rights for Slaughter.
He does, and we can actually add you too. We can add several people. We were initially thinking about just having it one per park, but I don't think we're going to get enough people editing it, so I'm open to more people. So if you're interested in editing, shoot me an email address that you want to set as an admin, and I'll happily add you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, my email is super complicated. It's thatagrin@gmail.
Thatagrin@gmail. Not a problem.
And it looks like you can use any images that other people have uploaded. So, like,
Yeah,
I have access to that picture of Thad and of the chainmail. So if I'm in Wickerwood and I'm looking for a picture,
no, you're
I don't
absolutely
necessarily
right.
have to upload my own. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me email or invite Thad real quick. Manage user.
I didn't see how to do the background.
It's in the top left under customize. All right, THADDIGREN@gmail.com. So that I just shot you the invite. And I'm going to set you as a global administrator for the website. Okay. So as soon as you accept that, you'll be able to set a password and actually log in and start editing the pages as you go. I don't have a picture of Diego. I will have to have y'all find one, but yeah. What other questions? It looks like there was a media library added with one of those cool little scrolling images carousel.
Yeah, I know Gundar added the media library. There's a picture of Diego in it. You just went past it.
You know what? There is a photo of Diego.
And he's even doing serpenty things. He's teaching a T-Tunic class in that photo.
So in theory, Diego should already be up there, and I just didn't realize it. Yeah, there he is. Look at that. Man, I cannot spell today. There we go. I don't want this additional information tab, so in theory, I can just delete. I really think that's going to delete the whole damn thing. This is where you can also change how many columns. If you only wanted 2 or you needed more than 2, you could pick how many you wanted. Let's leave it at 2 for now. I'm just going to save this and let y'all worry about editing it. Pretty easy.
Did you create an extra serpent thing? Because I'm noticing right next to the Knights drop down, it's showing serpent.
What do you mean? Oh, you know what? I did. So pages, edit menu. We will delete that. We don't want that. There we go. Yeah, whenever you create a new page, it kind of automatically dumps it into the menu, and I was wanting to put it under the night section, so good call, good catch. You want to get rid of that.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it had highlighted that because you had selected it from the drop down, or if it had dropped it into the menu above.
Oh, good catch. It definitely dropped it into the menu. I also have every park page with a paid dues link that will automatically choose their park whenever it takes them. So I thought that was pretty neat. Contact us page, you can fill this out. You can edit this form to send it to whoever you want. You could use your sc@amtgardck.org email address, and that will actually email everybody that's dues paid at your whole park. So that's pretty fun. That's really all I've got. I'm happy to answer any additional questions, but at a high level, that is how you edit your parks page. You can see you don't have to know anything about coding or all the crap that back in the 90s and 2000s you had to spend hours learning syntax to do. This is all formatted for you and very easy.
It really, really is. I'm playing with it right now, and yeah. Oh, that's a better picture.
The one thing I will say is try not to edit the stuff on the bottom too much, because some of this is global. You start editing this Amtgard, the Celestial Kingdom, and you put Slaughter Creek instead, it's actually going to change it for every page. So there's some things that you just want to be careful on editing. But for the most part, everything above this line is open game.
Does it keep an effective changelog in case somebody does edit a global thing and doesn't realize it, that we can go back and restore it easily?
So I actually have it doing background snapshots every night, and I keep 2 weeks of background. So if somebody just completely botches it,
even though there
I could
was an
reload
attempt at the
wherever I
last
wanted
minute to pay
back 2
extra
weeks.
to me, it was
There's
vetoed
not
because
a
it
good
felt like the
undo
people who had paid
functionality
to pie
outside
people
of just
deserved
blowing the web page away which will also blow our backend away and restoring back to a point in time copy. So that's why I am hoping that we don't get somebody, just going crazy. Ultimately, though, even if you really screw up the front web page, it's all recreatable fairly easy. We just got to put some time back in there. Let's see. We are going to have a Spring War webpage. Whoever wins the Spring War bid will get, obviously, admin rights. I do have the springwar.com domain name personally, and I will redirect it to springwar.amtgardck.org. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. We could also do springwar.com permanently instead of the redirect, but either way, we won't have to worry about not having a good Spring War website anymore, or having to pay people to host it for us. It's all covered.
That is so awesome.
Let's just go back to the main page. Yeah, I don't have anything else. So if there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we can go ahead and nix the stream and the video recording and just chat.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, YouTube. We're going to go ahead and click off for now so that we can just kind of hang out and relax. Let me take a look at my schedule real quick. Coming up in just under 30 minutes, that's 6 p.m. Central, we have Pour Away Your Troubles with Domina Illustre. She's going to be leading us in some art, that wonderful kind of spinny acrylic pour art thing. So I'm really, really excited to see that one. So if you're interested in that, stick around. The stream will come back on in about 30 minutes with her. Thank you so much for joining.